Hi, welcome to a new tutorial for TheLab, the Pro Tools TheLab. This tutorial will be free. It is part of a series, and today we are going to work on something really strange. Clarisse is a software from Isotropix. It is maybe well known because it is really amazing for set dressing and large scale environments and scattering, etc. etc. By the way, it is a great software for look development and rendering, lighting, shading. So the main idea is that we can see, for example, how to use Clarisse in an archi job. We are going to move a scene from an interior, from 3ds Max to Clarisse. We are going to use Clarisse 3.6 Service Pack 4, the latest version, and we'll take a look at how we can use it to obtain a really nice final image. Another nice thing is that you can remember that the new version 4.0 will have also high-res lights, so I think it will be step by step really useful for other kind of job in computer graphics. So architectural stuff for interior exterior will be really great to be done using Clarisse. Let's imagine, for example, the exterior with nature, big environments, plants, etc. etc. It will be really great. So this is a really strange experiment, and let's do something big with Clarisse together. So I just downloaded the scene, and the scene came from this website, 3dzip.org. It is free, so you can download this scene searching in the interior folder, or maybe you can pick other stuff for exterior and interior. There are really nice scenes, a lot of scene done for 3ds Max, a lot of scene done for Corona Render and V-Ray, so you can pick stuff and then make your test. So we start with the scene in 3ds Max. First of all, we select the camera, and I go to erase the camera so we don't take care about it. And let's go in the light explorer, and we pick the Corona light, and we go to remove it. Let's see if we have something else. No. Okay, nice. So we can pick this scene, export, and let's go in the right folder. So let's go there, and let's create Clarisse interior. That's the autosave. Okay, just a moment. So interior part 1. Let's export in ABC Alembic, because this is the right file format for Clarisse. Take care about the extension. You see that 3ds Max by default save with ABC written in this way. We have to change it, so let's call it TheLab interior Clarisse.abc. So take care about it. Single frame. Let's export everything and export. Okay, export is done. Let's move to Clarisse. So this is not a basic course about Clarisse. So we play just with the feature, and that's also, I will explain what I'm doing, but obviously I'm not talking about basic stuff. So let's make right space there. So actually we have one light there, we have the camera, and we have the rendering engine. So we go inside File, Reference, and this is the way to import the ABC. So File, and let's go in the right folder, produce TheLab, November, look at that, Clarisse, and that's the one. Okay, you see it is merging. So we are inside the scene. It was really fast to merge the stuff we asked for, and now we are inside the carpet. It is clear, so we can move it. The navigation is like Maya, so we should move and zoom. You know perfectly that working inside Clarisse, we are working inside the scene, and it is a different way. It is not the same like the other software, because this one is a render, so we have different way to see the scene. But you know, if we go to progressive rendering, you see that it's rendering and it is using lights. If we go in the simple shading, it is using no lights, but this one is rendering. So we have to take care about the interior. So first of all, let's see what we have there. This one is a plane. For the moment we can remove it, I don't take care about it. Okay, that's right, this one is inside an alembic, so we can't remove it. But the way, using the Ctrl D, we can disable. So select this one, Ctrl D, and it is disabled. Let's press on this one. So this one, sorry. Let's go inside the scene, and there. Now we can press this one. So we have the camera. Before we try to do it inside this one, we can't do it. You see, it is locked because it is the ABC. So that's our camera, and it will be used for rendering. So actually we have just the model, and you see we have no light coming inside, nothing special for the illumination. So let's go back to the smooth, and the first thing we can do is to add the light inside this lamp. So let's pick this one. It is a standard light, we can remove it. So right mouse button there, new, lights, physical, and let's go for let's try with a spot maybe. Okay, so W key, and you see that we can move it. So now we can move this one without problems. Okay, you see that it is the right one. So or maybe we can play in a different way. So let's do a camera, light, physical, and let's go for a sphere. And let's move it there. Okay, just to see how it looks, let's go in progressive. Let's go back there. Let's select this one. So we can decide to change something there. First of all, let's add a little bit of exposure, maybe 20, maybe 15. Okay. The radius, this one is 5 milliliters. Let's go for 3 0.3, 0.03. So we have 3 centimeters for the light. Let's go for physically based. The color will be something like that, maybe a little bit more clear. Let's add more sampling. For the moment, let's go for 64. and back inside the smooth. Okay. Okay, so let's move this one in the context so it is locked to give us always the visualization of the entire scene. So back to the render. Okay, later we'll move in the right position. For the moment, let's remove the enable. And let's add another light. This one will be the HDR map, so it will come from the outside. So let's scale a little bit there. Okay, so let's create a new light. So light, physical, let's go for environment. Okay. We have to change something. We need a texture because actually we have no HDR map. So let's go to create there. We get to create a new folder. So this one can be called F2 to change the name. Let's call it textures. Okay, and their new texture map file. Let's rename it, so F2, and let's call it HDR TXT. Okay, so let's go there, file name, and let's go to choose something. We can go to peak, maybe in HDR. Even we can pick a free map. Let's go for maybe for a urban. Let's see if we have something. That can work nicely. I'd like to have the sun and also some more stuff. So let's double check the first one. Let's try to pick this one. Let's go for the 8 key. Okay, we have it. So let's move in the right folder. So okay, done. So let's go there and peek in the lab, November, like that, Clarisse, texture, this one. Okay, open. So back inside the scene, I'm going to create a new context and let's rename it lights. So we are managing the scene to have the right stuff inside the right folder. So sphere and environment. Okay. So back inside the light, let's select the environment. And we have to go to the color, pick on this icon and choose for texture and choose this one, apply. So now it is loading and preparing all the stuff we need, and it is starting to illuminate using this map. Let's go a little bit higher with the resolution. So to move forward, I prefer to have no visibility for the, let's press F to have this one in the middle. So let's pick all this object with the shift key, and we are going to remove it. Okay, Control D. Nice. So now we should have a faster way to simulate everything. So environment, and this one can be lower. Okay, let's try with the default value, so we can understand how it is going and how it is moving. So let's rotate, and you see that we see the illumination changing in real time. So I'm going to have the light coming inside the room from the window, something like that. If you like to have the texture visible, we can go there. Let's say that we go there, a new context, and this one is maybe utils. Okay, and there we go to create a sphere. Let's go in the smooth. Okay, the sphere is there, so we can go to pick the sphere and call it here and mesh. Then let's go inside. This one is 500 meters. Maybe we can go bigger. Okay. I mean, I think that this one is a little wrong on the scale. So that's the main issue. You see that the scaling of the room is completely wrong. So we are working out of scale just to be sure. I like to control the scaling there inside 3ds Max. So unit setup, it is centimeters. And let's go to use the taper, and this one is, let's say 10 meters. It's like that. So something went wrong with the scaling, so let's pick everything. Back inside the utils, this one is, let's say 5 meters. So we try to make it 10 times more little, so we can directly go inside 3ds Max, select everything, and then scale everything. Maybe let's say 1%. Okay. Move everything there in the middle, and try to export, overwrite this one. Yes. Export. And the nice thing inside Clarisse is that this one is a reference, so we can just go inside reference. We see everything, we pick this one, right mouse button, and you have there the possibility to reload. Okay, so now the scale is still wrong, I mean, so let's go there, let's pick the camera and this camera, and let's remove it. Let's go to see everything. This one, what is this? Is the light sphere, we can remove it. Let's press A, Okay, and now it is, so this one is 5 meters. I think that now we have to write the right scaling. So back there, 50 meters, let's go for 500 meters. Nice. So select this one, F key, maybe move a little bit, and this one is our camera. Okay, nice. Back in the utils, this one needs a shader, so let's go there. Let's go to context and let's call it MTL. So we have the material. Let's create a new material there. We go for material and you can choose matte. Okay, so this one you can just drag and drop to the sphere. Back in the progressive rendering. Okay, and choose the matte and choose the color. Okay, nice. So now then we can go inside the utils and mesh. Let's remove the cast shadows, so we see the light coming inside. Receive shadows because we don't need it. And then let's see what happened. Maybe we can also, let's remove the emitter. Maybe it can help because we have more light coming using also this one. So back inside the scene, and now we see the back and we have the right environment there. So everything. So back, the scene is done. So we can start playing with the materials. This one is the optics denoiser, just to see the look and how much light is coming inside. Okay, so let's pick the object we have inside the scene, and maybe this one is everything is part of the basic material. So inside the material, new material, physical, and let's go for a standard. So let's call wall MTL. We can assign it just moving this one there. So this material is really simple, so let's go to have a white color, and we have just a little bit of reflectivity, and we have the roughness. So actually there's nothing special, so we can also choose this one, material, and go there, and wall material, and we can do the same for all pieces. So let's go and smooth and pick everything is wall. So there, material, wall material, and the same for the second one, wall material. No, we picked also the back, so it should work in this way. Okay, let's pick this one. There we need to have a different material. We needed parquet, so physical, standard, and let's call it parquet MTL. F2, just to put the underscore there, and we can pick this one. Okay, nice. So back there, and we can choose the diffuse color. The diffuse color can be a texture, so let's go there. New texture, map file, and this one can be called parquet txt, and choose this one. Inside the texture we have the parquet, and we have to pick the file. We have the texture because we can find it inside the folder where we have the projects we download. So maps, it should be, let's see, let's go in the folder. So okay, I mean it's this one. So the first one, back to the parquet material, and let's remove for the moment the reflection. So now we see the texture. If you like, we can go inside the, so that's the camera. Oh, sorry, let's remove this one. We should have the camera. Okay, nice. So let's select the background, and inside rendering, active camera, and choose camera. Okay, back inside there, and we have the scene we are rendering. So we can continue working there. So let's select image, this is the resolution, and let's go to 100%. Okay, then this one is the render region, and let's select this area. So we see just the wood shader. Okay, so material, this one is the parquet, and let's go to the reflectivity, but let's go in the Fresnel 2, so 100%. Let's say that we like to have maybe 1.55, and then we go to remove this high reflectivity. So we are going to use some maps. Okay, so right mouse button, open with material editor. So we're going in the node based material editor. You see that we have just the parquet that is connected to the diffuse. We need something more, so we can go for map file, and this one, let's call parquet spec, and let's go to choose another map. So let's try to use maybe this one, the floor wood 03. And we can connect to the let's try with the specular strength. So let's select this one, and let's go to use a lower level of reflectivity. By the way, let's remove the glossy, because you know a lot of glossy is creating this kind of effects, so we have to change it a little bit. So and this way we can close with our mouse. So again, map, and this one is the parquet plus, and we go to choose the other map. So again there, the number 2, and we can connect to the rackness. So let's see how it looks. We have a lot of light coming inside the scene, so maybe it is working nicely, but it is not clear. So let's close, and maybe we can have this area with more render. Okay, let's work step by step with the other material to be sure that it's starting to work. Okay, so we can work on this area. So back in the 3D view, and back with a smooth. Okay, so a new material. Let's go to create a chrome. Obviously, we'll take care about details later. So again, standard, and call it heat chrome. We pick this one, and we say that we are using the chrome material. Let's do the same for this one. So material chrome, same on this part, material chrome, and pick again the chrome. Okay, inside the material, we can go back in the image view just to see. Sorry. You see that it's, playing with it is really fast. So the material chrome, let's do something really simple. So let's go with a black color. We have 100% reflectivity. Let's remove the roughness, and let's go for maybe 12 for the IRR. So actually it's really basic. Okay, let's go for the carpet. The carpet too will be really simple. So new, material, physical, standard, and this one will be carpet. We can do the drag and drop there without problems. So talking about the color, we go for something clear, so maybe something like that. Let's go to the saturation. Okay, then let's go for maybe 50%, and let's go to maybe 35%, so just a little bit of anisotropy on this area. Okay, back on this part, and we pick this one. So we are going to create a new material, new material, physical, standard. Let's call it chair. MTL. Later we can change the material name for the others too. So pick there. Okay, and we need another texture, but we can create it later. So we can go inside the material editor. Okay, so it is really simple. Let's go to create this one as a map, and this one can be called chair diffuse. Let's move inside the texture. Chair diffuse. Okay, nice. Connect to the front color and choose for the right map. We should have something inside the folder, and I mean our chair textile velvet blue. Okay, it is loaded, and now it is converting to a map. Okay, so it needs to be tweaked a little bit. So first of all, inside the material, we get to have a little bit more reflectivity, so let's go for 1.75, and we get to have more glossy reflection. Okay, and we need the bump too, so this one needs to be moved, so we can go there, and then this one is chair bump, move it there. Okay, normal bump map, because everything is here works with the bump map with a normal. So this one goes there, the map is connected there, and this one is connected as an input. Okay, see the bump there, we need just to select reflect the map. Inside the folder we were using before, velvet bump. I think it is too much. It is 1 meter as you see. So let's go for 0.01, so 1 centimeters. And let's close for the moment. So back there, inside the material, we have the same material for this one, and then select there, F key, okay, so you see we are able to see how it looks. In the meantime, let's save the scene. Clarisse interior part 1. Okay, let's create a new camera for this one. So we use this point of view, and we use this camera to move around all the other objects. So okay, let's remove, let's move. Okay, bump is the match. It is visible there. So material, shape material inside the material editor. And let's go lower, so maybe this is 1 millimeters, maybe it's better than the previous one. Maybe we should go just a little bit higher, so maybe 0.002. Okay. So back in the material, I like to understand if the reflection is right or not, so let's remove the glossy. You see, in this way it's really high. And let's go to have a different color. So maybe we can use the specular color using the diffuse map we are using now. So let's connect this one with specular color. It is too much, so let's go in the color and let's see if we can create a little bit of contrast. So input, right mouse button, and let's go in open view, texture view. So we see what happened, and then connect this one to the specular color. With the right mouse button you can create a line to disconnect. Okay, so maybe we can still playing before with the reflectivity. And maybe I like to use this one for the diffuse color. So, oh sorry, the diffuse. Okay, and I'm going to add contrast to make it a little bit darker. Okay. Back in the 3D view. Sorry, with a smooth, and go into selection, F key, and let's see, for example, this one. So back in the image view, and we can see the other one, how it looks. This material needs to be tweaked, so let's get material, parquet material. Okay, it was a different mesh. Okay, back in the 3D view. Let's rotate and let's move to see the entire scene. Okay, that's what we see. So back inside the interior, and I like to select the mesh we removed before. So 3D view, and let's see, enable, and Shift D on this one too, Shift D, Shift D, this one is the plane, so Shift D, Shift D. Okay, we should have everything again back. Okay, nice. So in the image view, so we see how much light is coming inside the scene. Okay, back in the 3D view, just to be sure that everything is okay. Okay, nice. And back in the utils, this one, Control D, so it's not visible. Back in the image view, let's remove the render region. So actually that's what we see inside the scene. Just to play a little bit, so save. Let's go inside lights, environment, and let's go higher with the sample count. So let's go to 128 just to begin, and let's see what happens when we add a little bit of exposure. That is too much. Okay, just a moment, this one can be disabled just to have more light coming inside. Back in the image. So that's the actor status. Obviously we have to work on a lot of shader and also then the illumination and general setup. By the way, we are also working with the gamma set to 1. So let's go in the sRGB, how it looks. And you see that obviously we have more level of detail because we see also in the darker area more stuff, so we have to take care about it later, step by step. Let's put back the curtain, so Shift D. Okay, you see that obviously we have more shadows inside our scene. Let's play a little bit with the rendering engine. So let's pick one area and select the path tracer, and let's go with maybe the black man, 3 pixels on every side, and then we can go with an higher value. Let's go for 128. We'll have obviously more quality. It is clear. Obviously the image will be cleaner, and you see that the speed is not bad because we are talking about an interior. And we should put the material on this object. Let's go. We should go to pick everything. So selection, this one, this one, this one. I like to be sure that all meshes there have the right material. We tried to do it before, but I'm not sure we have all the right material. So MTL wall, and then MTL wall, back in the image view. Let's remove the selection. Back in the 3D view. And let's remove the scene to be sure that this object has the right one, this one too. So everything seems nice. So you see that's the actual look. We have to play with this material, we have to match reflectivity, we have to do a lot of things still. So actually it is just the beginning of this project, so we have to play nicely in there. We have to put more light, and we have to work also on the material for the parquet, and we have to take care about the final look. So this is the first one. So we had just created the scratch based the base of the project. So we have to play with a lot of stuff still. So let's go to save, and we'll take care about all the other stuff on the part 2. We'll continue to work on the shaders, and I think we'll be over on part 3 to finalize our rendering. So stay tuned for the next video, and I think it will be out next week. So bye and thanks. We'll see more about FX stuff on Friday.